power into the elusive Byrd.
And Roy, you spoke a lot in the last fight about the difficulties Cole created himself by adding so much weight to become a heavyweight. Chris Byrd fought at 165 in the Olympics and made a calculated business decision to become a heavyweight. So he's packed on a lot of weight, but he hasn't overdone it. He fights at 208 3/4.
And he's done it to perfection. He did it just right. He didn't put on too much. He didn't do it too quick, and he did it at the beginning of his professional career.
Is he the kind of heavyweight you would have been if you had decided to become a heavyweight?
I would have tried to be. I don't even think I can gain that much weight.
I don't think so either. Ibeabuchi reaching and trying to find a way to land his jab. To make matters even more difficult against Byrd, in addition to the hunt and peck style and the difficulty of finding him in there, he's a southpaw too. We've mentioned to Byrd that Ibeabuchi had thrown more than 80 punches around against Tua. The heavyweight average is 45 to 50. And Bird's eyes lit up. He said, I hope he tries to do that against me. Byrd wants the opponent to be punching and attempting to reach him because that creates his opportunities. Ibeabuchi, for his part, says, I'll beat Byrd the same way Foreman beat Moorer. I said, Ike, Foreman had to lose 9 rounds to get Moorer in position to beat him.
Ibeabuchi trying to stay under control. Don't get wild to give anything to Byrd to counter. So it's a very tactical fight right here.
Tell you what, you'll find out how much patience Ibeabuchi has because he'll have to be very patient here.
And Ibeabuchi so far has shown more patience than his critics might have thought he would. Now he rushes forward and starts swinging to try to get at Byrd after Byrd landed a couple of shots to the body.
He's got to punish him when he gets into those close situations.
Ibeabuchi fought the whole first round without throwing any right-hand leads. Right-hand leads are the common weapon of choice for a conventional fighter fighting against a southpaw, and there's one right there.
He ought to be roughing him up right in here. Make him pay. But Byrd is extremely quick and clever. You feel that his eyes see everything and react instantly.
Well, Byrd grew up training, the story's been told many times, in an indoor, downstairs, 12 by 12 foot basement gym in his home in Flint, Michigan. And it's there that he learned the style of standing against the ropes, tempting the opponent in, and then making the opponent miss. Byrd is a defensive fighter who's comfortable against the ropes. It's kind of a constant rope-a-dope. Ibeabuchi lands a left, gets Byrd back to the ropes, just misses with a right. Ibeabuchi's hand speed for a big man may be a new experience for Byrd.
I think it is. That's the first time I can recall a big guy hitting Byrd within the first 2 rounds.
And landing a hard body shot. When you got a guy who's elusive in the head, as Byrd is, then one textbook move is to go to the body, and Ibeabuchi has shown some of that in the first couple of rounds. Pounds Byrd back with a right to the chest. Just misses with a left. The 3 or 4 punch flurry and get the heck out of there is Byrd's stock and trade.
He's very smart because he's hitting Ibeabuchi's body to take away some of that power later in the fight.
Those punches couldn't take away the power from a mouse.
Ibeabuchi's starting to tee off and swing wildly, but now the right-hand lead lands for him.
I don't know, Larry. Go in there and get hit with one of them and see if you still think that way. It looks like pretty good punches to me.
Swinging and missing. Common experience against Chris Byrd. Byrd taunting Ibeabuchi with his eyes.
head hand lead.
Excellent. On target against the constantly moving Chris Byrd. Ibeabuchi showing head movement too. Hard right hand lands for Ibeabuchi and punctuates round two.
It's going to work.
Chris Byrd dancing from side to side as he gets ready to come out. And you heard Curtis Coates telling Ibeabuchi, I don't care if you hit him in the arms, the shoulders, hit him anywhere you can. Good advice.
You know, I've got to admit a certain prejudice here. There are times when I watch Byrd, if I was a referee, I'd want to take a point away from him for non-performance. This is a lot of junk is what he's giving us here.
But Larry, it's called the manly art of self-defense.
Well, I don't see anything manly about this.
Well, when you're giving away 35 pounds, it is a little manly. It's smart.
I'm not saying it's not smart.
I mean, well, Roy makes a good point. Isn't it manly enough for a 208-pound guy to get into the ring with a 243-pound guy and be willing to take those shots that land? Which is not to say I don't know what you're saying, Larry.
This is professional prize fighting.
Good body shots by Ibeabuchi. Byrd comes back to the body himself, but Ike has him cornered here and is doing some excellent work. Oh, a hard right hand lands upstairs for Ibeabuchi. And he just misses with another. But that first right hand may be one of the hardest shots that Chris Byrd's ever taken.
But he took it well, give him that. He certainly did.
What do you think, Roy?
I don't know. It's very different for Chris Byrd. We'll find out tonight what he's really made of. He's never had to take these type of punches this early in a heavyweight fight.
Byrd gets in a right-hand shot and momentarily halts Ibeabuchi's momentum. But now Ibeabuchi works as Byrd goes back to the ropes, and Ike is remarkably accurate. It's not going to show up in CompuBox numbers because it's so hard to land against Byrd anyway. But very few fighters have made contact on Chris Byrd the way Ibeabuchi is doing it right now.
But Byrd has landed some good quick punches inside to Ibeabuchi's head while Ibeabuchi is working the body.
Oh, what a home run shot that was.
Quick hands for the big guy.
Good left hook, Ibeabuchi. Another good left hook. And a third.
Now he cut Chris Byrd, I believe. Yeah, he cut Chris Byrd on the eye.
And Byrd is wounded.
Crowd loves it. Mr. President
Can wear you down.
Well, Ibeabuchi somehow found a way to throw 75 punches against Chris Byrd in round number 3. Harold, how do you have it scored?
Jim, all I gotta say is Stu Miller couldn't throw a fastball either. Listen, 29-28, 2 rounds to 1. Ike Ibeabuchi. Jim, what you're judging in this fight is at the end of the round who did more damage. You can't get fooled by Byrd's histrionics. You just gotta look at it and say who did more damage. So far, Ike did it in rounds 2 and 3.
Is Ike going to get exhausted trying to chase Byrd all the time like this, Roy?
I don't know. He could by throwing all these big punches, but be reminded here, he's throwing good body shots while he's chasing Chris, and he's hitting Chris a lot more than he seems as he is.
And Byrd's eye is cut and it's open again.
Yep. And Byrd's cut man is his dad, Joe Byrd, who's also the trainer. So the blood flowing a little bit from above the left eye of Chris Byrd, a mark of the damage that Ibeabuchi's been able to do with his right hand. We thought Ibeabuchi might wear down against Tua because of the extraordinarily high work rate. He only seemed to get stronger in the late rounds of that fight. He's got some wellspring of energy that is truly special.
Teddy Atlas joins us at ringside. He's as familiar with this post as he is with his post in the corner with his fighter. Welcome aboard, Teddy.
Thank you, guys.
Interesting fight here. Ibeabuchi fighting a nice disciplined fight against Byrd. Is that the way you have to fight him?
Yeah, you sure do. I mean, Byrd's the kind of guy that you have to be disciplined with. He's real slick. He moves his head. He wants you to do things.
Would you let Kirk Johnson fight this Byrd?
I don't know.
If you didn't have to?
Not if I didn't have to. I mean, this is a guy that, you know, he acts like he's a lightweight or a middleweight in a heavyweight spotting. He's real slick. You think he was Roy Jones Jr. up there.
How'd you feel about your first tour of duty with Kirk Johnson tonight, Teddy?
Okay, I mean, Kirk is a young kid. He's got to learn to be consistent with his ability. He has ability, but you don't get up there and people don't hand things to you just because you have ability. You have to be disciplined. You have to use that ability within a certain vehicle, and you have to be consistent with it. He's going to learn that.
You surprised at how often Ibeabuchi is finding Byrd here?
Yeah, well, not really. He's steady. You know, you need to be steady against Byrd. You have to be a guy who's not going to be BS, and you got to go to the body a lot because he wants you to go to the head. You got to go the opposite of what he wants.
And Ibeabuchi goes to the body with a right. All right, Teddy, thanks very much for joining us.
Pleasure to be here.
Congratulations again on the Kirk Johnson victory.
Thank you very much.
Best of luck down the road. Teddy Atlas hitting his first shot tonight as trainer for Kirk Johnson and coming out with a big victory over Al Ice Cole. In round 4, Ibeabuchi's punch output dropped to 52, but he still landed 16 of them. Byrd 16 of 48. That might have been a tough round to score. Now we go to the 5th.
Ibeabuchi's punches seem to be slowing a little bit now, Jim.
Well, that could be fatigue. You know, there was the long layoff after the victory over Tua, 16 months. He's won a couple of fights since then, but there have been inconsistencies in training. Curtis Coates, he's listening to in the corner tonight. There was a period of time while he trained for this fight when he wasn't with Coates, but rather was with Chuck McGregor. He only had one sparring partner, and he told us he didn't spar very much preparing for this fight at all. Some fighters these days don't believe in sparring a lot, and Ibeabuchi is one of them. And right hand shot by Ibeabuchi in retaliation in the middle of the ring.
Fortunately for Byrd, it just missed him.
Don't be pushing on him now. Okay, here we go. Let's go to work.
The early body punches from Ibeabuchi has slowed Byrd down too. Byrd is not as nearly as elusive as he normally is in a fight like this.
You know, we were talking about the cut before. The importance of a cut in a fight like this, which can be very difficult to score, is that it shows graphically to the judges that one guy has been hurt with something.
Left hand. Byrd in serious trouble. Ibeabuchi with a monster left hook. Followed it up to the right. And Byrd, for the second time in his career, goes down. Trying to argue with the referee, Ron Rawl, about whether it was a knockdown. But come on, Chris. You got busted.
Oh, boy.
He's out of here. He's hurting very bad. He doesn't even know where he is right now. He's trying to keep it back. He's hurt bad. He's hurt bad.
Round ticking down. 15 seconds left. He might make it out of the round. Here comes Ibeabuchi.
He'll never make it out of this round, Jim.
Hard left hook. Oh, they can stop it. They can stop it right now.
What is Byrd
Ron Rawl stops it. Ron Rawl stops it. Ike Ibeabuchi has knocked Chris Byrd out.
A sensational victory for Ibeabuchi, and shame on Chris Byrd, who was arguing with the referee from the moment he got knocked down. He claimed it wasn't a knockdown. It was a knockdown, and he never stopped pitching instead of fighting and protecting himself.
I think Ibeabuchi, Roy, just knocked him silly.
He knocked him silly. Chris Byrd was really not aware of what went on. Not that he's ignorant, he's not aware of what really was going on. He's not senseless right now. He doesn't have an idea of what's going on in his mind right now. He's still kind of senseless.
That left hook was as big a single punch blow as we've seen in a while in the heavyweight division.
Yes, it was.
Well, Chris Byrd told us that he gets offended when he gets hit by a big punch. He must be very, very offended at the moment.
Ike Ibeabuchi closed the show, landing 19 of 36 power shots in that round. And what a spectacular job Ibeabuchi does in knocking out a man who was regarded as knockout proof. Here's the first knockdown, Roy. Here's the first knockdown, and check out this left hook. Here's the right.
Was it the right or the left?
Well, the left set it up. The right was just as flush. Here's another look from a different angle.
Oh, yes, it was a left uppercut.
Yeah,
oh,
the left uppercut. From
the
that point on, Byrd was gone.
Yeah, Byrd was really out of it right there. He was totally done.
Yep, I called it a left hook. With that angle, you can call it an uppercut. It was spectacular.
Man.
That's what Oscar De La Hoya used to do to smaller opponents. One shot like that, and they were out of there.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the big danger about fighting these big heavyweights. When you come up against one that can hit you with the big punch, are you going to be able to take it? That's where that 35-pound difference makes a difference.
And at that point, Ron Roll elected to stop the fight and prevent any further punishment for Byrd. The round had ended, but under those circumstances, I won't argue with that stoppage. Ibeabuchi earned his knockout of Byrd.